Welcome back to Bullet Point Reviews, the series where I give you my honest opinions and overall impressions of the latest games in 10 minutes or less. Today I'm going to be covering the highly anticipated Doom: The Dark Ages. This is the most recent offering from id Software and marks the third entry into the modern Doom series. Instead of continuing where Eternal left off, they took us to medieval times. Now, the real question is, does Doom: The Dark Ages keep up the franchise's momentum, or does it get slain by its own innovation? Doom: The Dark Ages serves as a prequel to Doom 2016, taking place in Argent d'Nur during its century-long battle against Hell itself. We once again step into the heavy-ass boots of the Doomslayer. But this time, he isn't the seasoned killer that we're used to. Instead, he's sort of a rabid dog on a leash, being controlled by the Makers, an angel-like species first introduced in Doom Eternal. They essentially use the Doomslayer as a weapon to shift the tides of war, but after his first emergence on the battlefield, he begins to show his teeth and bite back against the hands controlling him. Once breaking free from his chains, the Slayer joins the Sentinels in their fight against Hell, and in doing so, he becomes integrated into their society. The main villain of the game is a demon named Prince Ozrock. He is a power-hungry warlord whose conquest is fueled by his lust for the Heart of Argent, which is the central source of pure Argent energy. Whoever wields the Heart is given godlike abilities, making it the perfect weapon for those looking to, conquer a planet. What follows is the most story-driven Doom entry to date. Now, is this campaign gonna change the way you look at storytelling? No. But in the context of the Doom series, it's nothing short of ambitious. I mean, it features the most cutscenes out of any game in the franchise. Some would say a little too many, and honestly, I kinda fall into that camp. I think the cutscenes look great, and definitely add to the cinematic feel of the game, but at times I felt that the story would sometimes get a little convoluted, and take away from the momentum of the game. I will say though, the story does ramp up a bit, and gets a lot stronger in the later half. But let's be honest, at the end of the day, don't you just want to rip and tear? Now, onto the most quintessential aspect of any Doom game, the gameplay. Doom: The Dark Ages does a fantastic job at keeping the combat feeling both familiar and fresh. It manages to hold on to what makes Doom's gameplay so loved in the first place, while also leaving room for innovation, which is something id Software clearly loves to do. In Doom 2016, we ran around guns blazing. In Doom Eternal, we flipped our way through the depths of hell with reckless abandon. And now in Dark Ages, we plant our feet, raise our shield, and live out the fantasy of being a blood-soaked knight on the front lines of battle. That's the beauty of this trilogy. Each game is completely different from the last. They almost feel like spin-offs of one another while managing to always stay true to what makes Doom, Doom. Before I get sidetracked and begin to yap your ears off, let's get into what actually makes Dark Ages unique from the previous two. Gotta pause real quick though, because 90% of you guys are not subscribed. So if you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that subscribe button. And while you're there, you could leave a like, a comment, I'd really appreciate it. This game's core mechanic is parrying and blocking. Parrying is essential to staying alive, and it allows you to get that much needed edge in every single fight. But the shield isn't just a tool used for defense. It's a weapon of pure carnage, and it's honestly incredibly fun to use. Everything you do in the game pretty much revolves around it, from the combat down to the puzzles and traversal methods. This is all paired with some meaty-ass gunplay that really packs a serious punch. Each weapon is weighty and ruthless in the best possible way. The weapons feel very grounded and fit the dark fantasy vibe really well. The BFG is also in this game, but instead it's now the BFC, Ballistic Force Crossbow, and yeah, it's pretty insane still. Much like the previous games, each weapon is accompanied by a mod that enhances the weapon or changes it entirely. The upgrade system has also been given a fresh coat of paint. Instead of finding Sentinel coins or Argent cells within the world, health, ammo, and armor upgrades are given to you after killing a world boss in the form of demonic essence. Weapon upgrades can be bought with gold found around the world. The same goes for runes and crystals. Each form of currency allows for a different tier of upgrades, leading to a plethora of playstyles to shape the Doomslayer exactly how you like. Dark Ages also changed how glory kills work. Now, whenever you stagger an enemy, you're prompted to perform a Glory Strike, a quick melee attack that can either weaken an enemy or just finish them off. Don't worry though, the classic glory kills are still in the game. They're just a little more rare. This makes them feel even more satisfying when they do happen. And depending on how you play, the Doomslayer can either feel like a sharp-edged blade or a slow-moving wrecking ball of destruction. It's all up to you. And the gameplay reminds me so much of the classic 360 shooters that I can't help but love almost every single aspect of it. It's just a really fun time, especially when everything just clicks together in the fights. I also just really love the bullet hell nature of the game. It adds that unique flair that is specific to just Dark Ages. Now, I know you've been waiting for me to address the elephant in the room, and that's the addition of the Dragon and the Atlan battle mechs. And honestly, I was a little disappointed in both of them. They're really cool at first, but once I played with them more, I kinda just saw them as gimmicky. Both feel pretty bare bones. I really enjoyed the mech in the first level, but after that, the gameplay loop is pretty boring. It's essentially the same thing again and again. I was really hoping for some Titanfall level fights, but instead they're kind of just stripped of creativity in terms of how they play. They do look really badass, but I can't really say much else. They were pretty lackluster in my opinion compared to everything else in the game. One aspect of the game that over-delivered is the atmosphere and overall presentation. I mean, you've been watching the video, or at least I hope, so you can see that id Software knocked it out of the park with the art design. It looks amazing, and it features some pretty epic set pieces that blend perfectly with the more grounded, war-torn battlefields. Out of all of the Doom games, I honestly think this one has my favorite environments and overall style. For the sake of sparing you guys from some visual spoilers, I won't show you all of them, but just know that some of the later ones are pretty insane. The game runs on the id Tech 8 engine, and in terms of its visuals, it looks fantastic. The one qualm I have with the engine is the fact that it has ray tracing baked into it. There's no way to turn it off, but even then, the game ran flawlessly. I didn't run into any bugs or crashes, so it definitely passes my performance check. There is one piece I've yet to discuss, and this piece is crucial to Doom as a whole: the music and sound design. Technically that's two pieces. These are just as important to the heart and soul of the game as the combat itself, and if I were to describe it in one word, it would be meaty. Actually, let me add two words: meaty and chunky. You can feel the boom of the super shotgun. Hell, you can even feel the Doomslayer's boots hit the ground. I mean, the demons definitely feel that shit. I mean, seriously, the sound design is so good and so weighty that it practically makes my headphones heavier. But I'm about to say something that I never thought I'd say about a Doom game. The sound design is so visceral that it manages to completely drown out the music. I honestly thought I was going crazy. I genuinely couldn't hear the music in this game for the longest time. The mixing is so low that it honestly could pass as fucking lo-fi. The thing is, I don't want to study. I'm trying to play Doom. What's even worse is the fact that the songs on the soundtrack are actually pretty good. They're obviously not on the same level as Mick Gordon, but it still deserves to be front and center, especially since music is such a core element that makes Doom feel like Doom. And I feel like it was just put on the back burner, because there are times when you hear it, but it will be one quick riff before it goes back into hiding. Doom: The Dark Ages manages to keep the series alive with its fresh take on classic formulas and its bold new direction. Overall, it's a great game despite some flaws. It's a blast to play. Is it as strong as Doom 2016 or Eternal? Honestly, I'd say so. I think all of them are incredible works of art and amazing in their own right. While not perfect, Doom: The Dark Ages is an absolute beast of a game. It takes you on a brutal cinematic journey and allows us to see the Doomslayer like we've never seen him before. The world building is the strongest it's ever been. The game is unique, brutal, cinematic, and is a worthy entry into the modern Doom series. It's an amazing work of fiction that is definitely worthy of being in your library. But these are just my opinions. Feel free to tell me how wrong I am in the comments, or agree with me, that works too. And on that note, see you guys in the next one.